right, we are now live from the CSI Softball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, just moments away from the start of our Senior Day presentation. 4 Dolphins will be recognized today, including 2024 graduate Sabrina Caffel, Alexis Miramontes, Mariah Carcano, and Anissa Acosta. We are going to turn it over to our public address announcer, Joe Calabrese, momentarily for the start of our Senior Day presentation as our 4 seniors are recognized on field level. So what Nick and I will do is step off headset for the next several minutes as the Dolphins recognize the senior class of 2025.
At this time, we would like to recognize 2 seniors from the Molloy University Lions. First, senior number 2, Sherilyn Ducharme. And we would also like to honor number 8, Natalie Musa. For our 4 Dolphin seniors that we're honoring today, 1 departed the program following the 2024 season, and 3 more will depart the program at the conclusion of the 2025 season. Our first senior spent 2 seasons with the Dolphins following her arrival during the 2023 campaign. She spent much of that season as a pinch running and defensive replacement off the CSI bench, appearing in 17 games and starting 9. The following year, her role greatly increased as she became a regular starter in the Dolphins outfield. She appeared in 29 games during her second season with the program and started 21. She scored 8 runs and drove in 3, capitalizing on the increase in playing time last year. Finally, she went on to become Coach Garofalo's first student to receive a nursing degree. We didn't get the chance to celebrate her Dolphins career last season, but we are excited to welcome her back to the CSI Softball Complex today. Our senior, number 21, Sabrina Caffel. Sabrina is joined on the field by her father, Mike, her mother, Jackie, and her sister, Kaylee. Our second senior debuted for the Dolphins during the 2022 season and quickly assumed a big role as part of the Dolphins rotation. She started 11 games in the circle as a freshman and was second on the team with 4 wins. As a sophomore, she started a team-leading 19 games and appeared in 23. After a heavy workload in 2023, she appeared in just 6 games last season and posted a career-low ERA. This season, she has appeared in 9 more games, including 3 starts. She also has a chance to post the best ERA of her career for the 2nd consecutive year, and she is 1 victory away from tying her career high in wins. Our senior, team captain, number 33, Alexis Miramontes. Alexis is joined on the field by her father, Albert, her mother, Kelly, and her grandfather, Jack. Our next senior first took the field for the Dolphins during the 2022 season and immediately made an impact both with her bat and her glove. As a freshman, she hit .283 and was second on the team in runs scored with 21. She also stole a team-leading 7 bases and became a fixture in center field across 36 starts. As a sophomore, she raised her batting average to .294, started 45 games, and scored a team-high 26 runs. Last year, she posted a career-high .310 batting average and a career-best .350 on-base percentage. She also surpassed 100 hits for her career, and she has a chance to reach the 150-hit milestone before the end of the 2025 season. This year, she has posted the best offensive numbers of her career with a .356 batting average and a .411 on-base percentage. She has also been an incredibly difficult hitter to strike out, with just 8 all season, and she continues to play an exceptional center field. Our senior, team captain, number 3, Mariah Carcano. Mariah is joined on the field by her father, Chris, her mother, Monique, her grandmother, Elaine, her boyfriend, Nick, and her godfather, Nate. Our final senior joined the Dolphins in the 2022 season and immediately played a major role both at the plate and in the circle. In the circle, she led the Dolphins in ERA, wins, complete games, innings pitched, and batting average against. At the same time, she hit .373 with a .413 on-base percentage and a career-high 6 home runs. The following season, she added another 5 home runs and a career-high 16 doubles. In the circle, she appeared in another 14 games and made 8 starts, but moving forward, she would become a regular starter on the CSI infield. She appeared in just 1 game as a pitcher during her junior season, and she went on to post another big season at the plate. In 2024, she hit .344, collected a career-high 53 hits, and slugged 4 more home runs. However, the best was yet to come during her senior season in 2025. Thus far, she's hitting over .400 with an on-base percentage of nearly .500 this year. She has also surpassed 50 doubles for her career and is also closing in on 200 hits for her career. Our senior, team captain, number 34, Anissa Acosta. Anissa is joined on the field by her father, Tony, her mother, Jessica, and her brother, Tony Jr., and, of course, her sister, Alyssa Acosta. time, we would like to invite all of our seniors to the area behind home plate for a special ceremonial first pitch, as the players have one last catch with their dads. Throwing to Sabrina Capel will be her father, Mike.
Joe.
Cowboys.
Hold on.
Do the picture first.
Yeah, wait till after the. Yeah. Should just put that on this bit.
Big smile.
You're good now.
Thank you, Nick. Throwing to Sabrina will be her father, Mike. Throwing to Alexis Miramontes will be her father, Albert. Throwing to Mariah Carcano will be her father, Chris. And throwing to Anissa will be her father, Tony. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our CSI seniors as well as Molloy University seniors.
I'm doing that. Yeah. Play some music. Play some music.
They're like pretty much like the standard.
Best front line you'll ever see.
Yep.
I don't know how old you are.
I'm 28, but I know about it. Yeah. Bird,
Kale, Parrish,
Ainge.
even Dennis Jones.
Yeah.
These are all made fun of Hall of Famers.
I know.
No Walt. That was
You don't see a team like that too often with like that many like Hall of Fame players or just like a role themselves.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Joe Foreman and Nick Bavona rejoining you from the CSI Softball Complex as you just got a chance to watch our 2025 Senior Day presentation. Sabrina Caffel, Alexis Miramontes, Mariah Carcano, and Anissa Acosta all recognized ahead of the game, along with the two Molloy seniors, Sherilyn Ducharme and Natalie Musa. They were also recognized by the Dolphins in a nice gesture ahead of today's game. So those are the 6 seniors that were recognized. 5 of them will be in action today. Of course, Sabrina Caffel returning from last year's Dolphins squad after she graduated early and became Coach Tracy Garofalo's first student athlete to receive a nursing degree. Once again, Joe Foreman alongside Nicholas Bavona. Nick, you have some work to do up the hill over at baseball. Obviously, 2 huge wins for the Dolphins yesterday. What needs to happen today for the Dolphins' playoff push to continue?
Well, Dolphins take on a very tough test today, Joe. Molloy is 9-3 on the season in conference play. So I think we talked about it already. The Dolphins really can't afford to have a doubleheader sweep. If they can at least get one of these 2 games today, would go a long way in their season. Getting that doubleheader sweep yesterday did a lot for them now in terms of conference play. They really could use another win here today to keep their season going. But of course, on a special day like this today with Senior Day, a lot of emotions are running through this entire team's body after going through those speeches. Now let's see if they can keep that adrenaline going into this doubleheader against the Lions.
Well, looking ahead for the Dolphins, these 2 conference games are the first 2 of 6 remaining on the schedule for the College of Staten Island. They play Mercy University on Tuesday and then wrap up their season at home 1 week from today against D'Youville. What the Dolphins need to avoid is a loss to Mercy on Tuesday. Everything else that happens may not matter if the Dolphins can take both games from the Mavericks on Tuesday.
Yes.
If Mercy owns the tiebreaker with CSI, which they would with just 1 win, it becomes infinitely more difficult for the Dolphins to get into the postseason. So you take care of business today. Ideally, you win 1 game. You might not need either. But if you win 1, that helps you immensely. If you're CSI, if you're Molloy, you're still chasing Stack for that number 1 seed. You meet the Spartans on the final day of the regular season, so plenty on the line for Molloy as well as they make a bid to host the ECC Championship for the 2nd straight season.
Yeah, a lot's on the line for these 2 teams coming into this doubleheader here today. You mentioned it, the Lions playing still for seeding purposes, looking for the 1st seed. The Dolphins, of course, playing for that last spot in the playoff standing. So a lot is on the line for these 2 teams. Still a lot of softball left for these 2 teams. But, of course, for me, Joe, I'm going to make my way towards the baseball press box because the Dolphins, the baseball team, also have a lot going for them. Now they are the 2 seed in the ECC standings, looking to further improve their record in their doubleheader coming up.
All right, so we'll send Nick off to baseball, and I'll talk a bit about the CSI baseball team before we break ahead of first pitch. Obviously, both teams being given some time to warm up ahead of the start of today's game following the conclusion of our Senior Day ceremony. But over at the baseball diamond, as Nick mentioned, the Dolphins are now 2nd place in the East Coast Conference standings. They have a conference record of 7-6. They take on a St. Thomas Aquinas team today that is 4-9 in conference play. Their season very much on the line as they visit the CSI baseball complex here this afternoon. The Spartans very well may need to win out to have a shot at the playoffs. That being said, they are just 1 game out of a playoff spot in the win column. So Stack still very much alive, may need some help. They definitely need at least 1 win today, maybe 2, as they visit the College of Staten Island. As for the Dolphins, they are closing in on an East Coast Conference playoff spot. They cannot clinch today. They cannot clinch before the weekend is over. However, there is a chance that the Dolphins could clinch a spot by virtue of results from around the conference before their regular season finale against D'Youville. That series begins on May 2nd, May 3rd, May 4th. The Dolphins host the Saints here at the College of Staten Island. There is a chance that the Dolphins can clinch a playoff spot before that series begins on Friday, May 2nd. That is something to keep an eye on as we head toward the final series of the regular season for baseball. But here on this stream, we have CSI Dolphins softball this afternoon. My name is Joe Foreman. I'm going to step aside for the next 5 minutes to take a quick break. We have first pitch between the Dolphins and the Lions coming up right here on CSI Sportsnet. And we are back from the CSI softball complex where starting lineups are being introduced out on the field for both teams. I will get you those starting lineups momentarily as we did have a late change for Molloy. I'm going to see if I can get that reflected in the live stats. If not, we'll get you their lineup following the start of today's game. Let's see if we can get that to change. And as of now, it has not changed. So I'll keep an eye on that as we go. But first, I will get you the starting lineup for the College of Staten Island. Leading off at first base will be number 34, Anissa Acosta. Batting second and playing center field is number 3, Mariah Carcano. Batting third in right field is number 30, Amanda Stalker. In the cleanup spot is the shortstop, number 27, Eileen Balderas. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 38, Olivia Wanzer. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 42, Olivia Warner. Batting seventh is the catcher, number 24, Natalia Canoth. Batting eighth is the second baseman, number 19, Bridget Motley. And batting ninth is the left fielder, number 12, Alyssa Acosta. In the circle for the Dolphins is number 33, Alexis Miramontes. As I mentioned, we did have a change for Molloy. It is not currently reflected in our live stats, but it is reflected in our stats program. So I will get you the lineup for Molloy off of our Stat Crew software. Leading off and playing second base will be May Savage. Savage wears number 10. Batting second and playing center field is number 32, Alexis Montgomery. Batting third is the designated player, number 8, Natalie Musa. In the cleanup spot is the catcher, number 2, Sherilyn Ducharme. Batting fifth is the pitcher, number 34, Stevie DeBody. And beyond that, we will get you the rest of the lineup following the national anthem from the CSI Softball Complex. Joe Foreman back with you from the CSI Softball Complex. And as promised before we broke for the national anthem, I'll very quickly get you the rest of the Molloy University starting lineup. Batting sixth and playing first base will be number 24, Madeline Millman. Batting seventh and playing third base will be number 29, Emily McGurk. Batting eighth and playing left field will be number 9, Megan Wagle. And batting ninth will be the right fielder, number 33, Amaya Page. The flex player at shortstop is number 5, Casey Kissinger. I am on double duty today. I am the statistician once again, and we don't have any backup as we are getting underway here from the CSI Softball Complex. Dolphins and Lions in a pair of big games for the College of Staten Island here on Senior Day. They send senior captain number 33, Alexis Miramontes, to the circle. And we'll get you the numbers for Miramontes ahead of first pitch on this senior day. Miramontes comes in with a 6.08 ERA and a whip of 1.77. She is 3-1 across 9 appearances and 3 starts. In 23 2/3, she has allowed 34 hits, 24 runs, 16 of those earned. She's walked 8 and struck out 11. Opposing batters are hitting .327 against her. First batter that she will face is May Savage.
May Savage.
And we are about to get underway from the CSI softball complex. The Lions still in pursuit of the number 1 seed in the ECC. The Dolphins making a late season playoff push, need wins as the game's first pitch is in for a strike. The Lions currently the number 2 seed in the ECC. Dolphins right now are on the outside looking in. The number 5 seed is that Mrs. High 1-1. Lions leadoff hitter May Savage at the plate this season, hitting .339. She has started all 38 games for Molloy as she takes ball 2 up and away. Count runs to 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. That's hit in the air out toward left center. Carcano makes the call and the catch. 1 away. As I mentioned before, double duty, so I apologize in advance. I'm a bit delayed in getting the outs up on the scoreboard.
The center fielder, number 32, Alexis Montgomery.
I'm responsible today for our live stats, instant replay, broadcast scoreboard, and any other issues that may arise, including our public address and audio setup, which had a bit of a glitch during the pregame. But that's what I'm here for. As the count runs to 1 ball and no strikes on the Lions' number 2 hitter, Alexis Montgomery. Montgomery this year comes in hitting at .268. And she's quickly ahead in the count here against Miramontes, 2-0. Miramontes got her season off to a very strong start down at the spring games in Florida. Hasn't seen as much usage since, but she definitely gave the Dolphins some quality innings in those games down south. Team looking for more of the same here today on Senior Day. Her 3-0 pitch is down and away for ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Montgomery. And now Natalie Musa will be the batter.
The designated player, number 8, Natalie Musa.
Natalie Musa to the plate, takes a called strike 0-1. Musa this season, Molloy's leading hitter at .365, an OPS of .1049. She has 7 home runs this year, 18 total extra base hits. And that's lined to right center. Stalker won't get there. It rolls to the fence. This may bring home a run. They are waving home Montgomery. The throw to the plate a bit up the line, backed up by Miramontes, and her throw to third is in time as Musa is out trying to advance. It's an RBI double for Musa, who is thrown out at third, and Molloy takes an early 1-0 lead.
Catcher, number 2, Sherilyn Ducharme.
It's only fitting that we would have a play like that on a day where I am pulling double duty. But that's going to be, I believe, 9-4-1-5 on the put out at third. There are now 2 away in the inning. Only 1 out on the scoreboard here. As that's hit in the air, deep to center field. Carcano looking up, and that ball is gone. Sherilyn Ducharme with a solo home run has put Molloy ahead by a pair. It's now 2-0 Lions. Ducharme wasting no time. Takes one deep to center, and Carcano could do nothing except watch it sail over the center field wall. Molloy quickly ahead by a pair here in the first inning, and of course,
Number 34,
could have been more.
Stevie Dabadi.
That will bring up Stevie Dabadi, who already has 2 runs worth of support here in the first inning. First pitch to Dabadi in for a strike. Ball hit to third. And the throw across the diamond is in time as the body is retired to end the inning. But not before Molloy strikes for 2 runs in the first. RBI double, solo home run, 2-0 Lions as the Dolphins come to bat for the first time after this break. Home first inning from the CSI softball complex where the Dolphins are in an early 2-run hole. It was a strong start at the plate for Molloy. Get things started. Alexis Montgomery reached via a 1-out walk. She was doubled home by Natalie Musa. And Sherilyn Ducharme made it a 2-run game with a solo home run over the center field wall. The 1-0 pitch to Anissa Acosta, the Dolphins' leadoff hitter and senior, is in for a strike, 1-1. Acosta continuing to lead the Dolphins in hitting, .404 this year, an OPS of 1023, as that is fouled away by Acosta, 1-2. In case you missed it, Acosta was among 4 Dolphin seniors recognized before first pitch today. She takes outside 2-2. Acosta very well could go down as the best player of the D2 era for the Dolphins at the time of her graduation. Certainly no Dolphin has put up the offensive numbers she has across a 4-year span, as that's taken up and away for ball 3. With the scheduling changes, the Dolphins still have 2 more home games following the senior day. Make that 4 home games, 2 home dates. Here comes the payoff pitch, and Acosta fouls that one straight back. It stays 3-2, but we mentioned it during the pregame as I was joined by my Sportsnet colleague Nicholas Pavona. He's up at baseball right now, where the Dolphins are in an early hole on the baseball diamond. But the Dolphins have 2 against Mercy on Tuesday, 2 more against Deauville 1 week from today. 3-2 is high, ball 4. So Acosta reaches with a leadoff walk, and now Mariah Carcano is the batter. Carcano lays down a bunt. The throw goes to second just in time to get Acosta. Very close play over at second. But Carcano will reach on the fielder's choice.
Fielder number 30, Amanda Stalker.
That will bring up Amanda Stalker. Stalker had another big day at the plate yesterday. Reigning East Coast Conference Player of the Week takes up and away for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Molloy 2-0. The 2-0. In for a strike, 2-1. As I mentioned before, the Dolphins over at the baseball diamond trailing in the first inning. Stack leads that game by a score of 1-0. Here comes the 2-1 to Stalker. And that's high for ball 3. Here comes the 3-1. That's hit sharply on the ground, but just foul. Count now full on Stalker, 3-2. Comes the payoff pitch. And that's hit a mile high out to left field, shallow. And the catch is made by the shortstop in shallow left. Kissinger had to range back and make the over-the-shoulder grab for the second out.
The shortstop, number 27, Eileen Balderas.
That will bring up Eileen Balderas. And Balderas takes up and away for ball 1. Runner going. Throw to second. Not in time. So Carcano steals second. And that puts a runner in scoring position for Balderas here with 2 outs. For Carcano, that stolen base is her 6th in as many tries. And Balderas takes a strike, 2-1. Balderas comes in hitting at .290 on the season. 22 runs batted in. Good for 3rd on this Dolphins ball club, and a chance here for number 23. 2-1. Hit well out to left and caught on a line. That ball was smoked, but she hit it right at Wagle for the final out of the inning. Dolphins strand 1 in scoring position. We head to the second with Molloy over Staten Island, 2-0.
The first baseman, number 24, Madeline Millman.
Madeline Millman will lead off from Molloy here in the road second inning. Lions lead the Dolphins 2-0 as Alexis Miramontes steals a strike, 0-1. Millman comes in hitting at .270 on the year. And she bloops one out towards shallow left center where Carcano makes the diving catch. Mariah Carcano fully extending to the turf, diving forward, makes the grab. One away in the inning following a tremendous play in center.
The third baseman, number 29, Emily McGurk.
This view won't do it justice, but here's a look. As the first pitch to Emily McGurk did miss for ball one. But there's a second look at that play by Carcano in center. And the 1-0 to McGurk misses for ball two. McGurk comes in hitting at 285. She gets the start at third base today. 2-0 up and away, and once again, Miramontes falls behind 3-0. Second time in this game that Miramontes has fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes. And for the second time, she issues a 4-pitch walk. That will bring up Megan Wagle. Wagle, a 267 hitter.
The left fielder, number 9, Megan Wagle.
First pitch on its way, and Wagle takes high, ball one. Here comes the 1-0. That's it for a called strike, 1-1. For that pitch, Miramontes had missed with 5 straight. Comes the 1-1. That's high, runner going, great pitch to throw on. And the runner is safe. And apparently shaken up as well. McGurk face down on the infield right now. And I thought she was tagged in the helmet on the play, which appears to be what the injury is. And they'll attend to McGurk at second base right now. Tracy Garofalo emerges from the dugout as well, likely to speak to her team gathered at the circle, or perhaps the umpire. We'll see. And she's headed out to speak to the umpire. McGurk back to her feet. And I think the word coming from the Dolphins dugout anyway is that obstruction was called on the play. Now, I'm not exactly sure how. Count on Wagle is now 1-2. One and two for Miramontes on its way. That's popped up. Shallow right. Basket catch made by Motley. What a play. I don't know if she was called off or not, but Motley had to make a great catch. And that's the second out of the inning. Two away in the inning now. And Amaya Page comes to the plate.
The right fielder, number 33, Amaya Page.
Page takes high, ball one. The 1-0. Fouled straight back. For Miramontes, this is the second time she's faced Molloy this year. First outing was a very short one, only made it a third of an inning. However, she was tagged with 8 unearned runs as she hits the batter here on the 1-1 pitch, but Dolphins defensively in that last outing against Molloy let Miramontes down in the field. Gave up 9 runs, 1 earned on 6 hits and a walk.
The second baseman, number 10, May Savage.
So Page awarded first on the hit by pitch, and it's back to the top of the order for Molloy. 2 away in the inning, 2 on, and May Savage takes ball 1. Savage at the plate in this game is 0 for 1. And the 1-0 misses up and away, 2-0. Miramontes has worked herself into a tough spot here with the hit batter. The walk didn't help either as she misses high there for ball 3. And we talked about this a bit on the air yesterday. What would the Dolphins' approach be in this doubleheader playing for the second straight day? Pitch counts yesterday did not run abnormally high as that misses for ball 4. And the bases are now loaded. That will bring up Alexis Montgomery. But we spoke about it yesterday. Do the Dolphins use the same approach with their pitching as they did yesterday? Or do they go all out and save their arms, top arms in that rotation for game 2? And it looks like they are going to the bullpen here. So Miramontes is done. Dolphins go to the bullpen, and Marina Grenier will be the new pitcher. So what we'll do is step aside and take a quick break. Alexis Montgomery at the plate to face Marina Grenier when we come back. And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet. Molloy has the bases loaded with 2 outs here in the road second. And a chance to really break this game open early. Alexis Montgomery at the plate against the new Dolphins pitcher, Marina Grenier. Grenier ahead 0-1. Misses off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Before the break, we touched on what the Dolphins' approach to the rotation might be today, and I think this pitching change gives you a hint. Dolphins will likely start Kennedy Ruth in game 2 and probably use Alexandra Frenza in relief if necessary. If necessary, perhaps we could even see Frenza in this game. But if you look at the doubleheader between the Dolphins and Lions earlier in the year, Natalie Musa got the start against CSI in the second game, and the Dolphins jumped out to a big lead as that misses down and away. Dolphins tagged Musa for 6 runs on 6 hits in just an inning. Count 3-1 now. Grenier in danger of losing Montgomery to a walk. And she misses high with ball 4. So Grenier forces in a run. Molloy now leads at 3-0. That pitch misses out of the zone for ball 1. Natalie Musa at the plate now. As I mentioned, she got the start against the Dolphins in Game 2 of the doubleheader at Molloy. Comes the 1-0, and she fouls that one back. Dolphins led that game 8-1, ended up losing 16-8 following a 10-run sixth inning from Molloy. And that was an inning I spoke about earlier. Alexis Miramontes did a lot of her work in that inning, and the Dolphins defense committed some key errors that allowed 10 runs to score. Meanwhile, Marina Grenier ahead of Musa 1-2 now with that foul ball on 1-1. And a chance here to limit the damage to just a run. The 1-2. Outside 2-2. A lot of traffic on the base paths early in this game from Molloy. Their lead is 3. The 2-2 from Grenier. Fouled straight back. So the battle continues between the Dolphins reliever and the Molloy designated player. A base hit here likely makes it a 5-run game, maybe 6 if Musa can find a gap. And instead she swings and misses for strike 3. That's a big strikeout for Marina Grenier and the Dolphins, as Molloy will leave them loaded in the second. 1 run home for the Lions. They now lead the Dolphins 3-0. Olivia Wanzer will lead things off for the Dolphins here in the second inning. CSI now trails 3-0. Molloy with just 2 hits in the game, an RBI double in the first inning by Natalie Musa and a solo home run by Sherilyn Ducharme. However, they still lead by 3. Dolphins looking to work their way back. For the Dolphins here in the second, it will be 5, 6, and 7 coming up. Wanzer now ahead 2-0. The body's pitch, low for ball 3. The body opened the game by issuing a walk to Anissa Acosta. Opened the game in the circle anyway. That was the bottom half of the first. Here comes the 3-0. And Wanzer takes a strike, 3-1. Comes the 3-1. That's hit the other way toward the corner. And the catch is made right along the line. On the move to make that play in right field was Page. That one right along the line, so we'll call it an F9.
Number 42, Olivia Warner.
As a statistician, you always have to make that distinction between the F9 and the FF9. Not relevant to the broadcast, always relevant to the scoring. As that's taken outside, ball 1 to Olivia Warner. The 1-0 to Warner. This is high, 2-0. Warner comes in hitting at .324. One of only a couple of Dolphins who have started every game. And Warner takes a strike there. Comes the 2-1. Half swing by Warner. But the pitch is called a strike. Count even at 2 on the Dolphins' third baseman. The 2-2. Outside, full count. We've seen this throughout the last week and a half now. The Dolphins continuing to be generally patient at the plate, though they did get into attack mode at one point in yesterday's doubleheader against Queens late in one of those games as Warner takes high for ball 4. That will bring up Natalia Cano.
The catcher, number 24, Natalia Cano.
Cano's season got off to a bit of a late start. Didn't play early in the year, has appeared in just 8 games. And she hits one out to shallow left. That's down for a hit. Warner moves up to second, and Canoth has the Dolphins' first hit of the game. Just like that, the Dolphins will bring the tying run to the plate.
The second baseman, number 19, Bridget Motley.
And the batter will be Bridget Motley. Not quite sure how that graphic got up in the top corner of the screen, but we'll get rid of that. There's a swing and a miss by Motley, 0-1. The glare on the screen today is so aggressive that I can barely see it. The only button I really have a clear view of is the mute button. As that pitch misses high to Motley, 1-1. Motley hitting .268 on the year. Behind her, the number 9 hitter, Alyssa Acosta. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Motley behind 1-2 now. Canoth on first, Warner on second. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Dolphins would love a chance for Anissa Acosta at the top of the order. 2 batters away as the 2-2 misses inside for ball 3. Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Motley. The body consults the wristband and delivers. Low and in, ball 4. Good at bat by Motley to work her way back from a 1-2 count. And now Alyssa Acosta comes up in a big spot. Bases loaded, 1 out. And a chance for the Dolphins to get on the board here in the second. Conference in the circle here from Molloy. Some instruction coming from the Dolphins dugout. Coach Sugar will have a word with Alyssa Acosta here as the Lions talk it over in the circle. Meanwhile, up the hill over at the baseball diamond, they're heading to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Spartans lead the Dolphins 1-0 in that game, the first of 2 over at baseball. It's hard to believe that right now they are outpacing us here at softball. You don't see that very often. Action set to resume here at the softball diamond. Acosta steps into the box. Huge opportunity for the former ECC All-Conference first teamer with the bases loaded. And she is hit by the very first pitch. And that will force in a run. Well, that's one way to get an RBI, albeit a somewhat painful way. Acosta will take it.
The first baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
And the Dolphins have turned it over to the top of the order. Anissa Acosta to the plate with the bases loaded on senior day. First pitch. In for a strike, 0-1. TJ without an official at bat, drew a walk her first time up. The 0-1. In the dirt. Blocked nicely behind the plate by Ducharme. Count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. That pitch off the outer half. It's now 1-2. Raya Carcano would be next. The 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, right side. Throw coming home, and they get the out at the plate. Cano forced out, trying to score from third. Of course, had to advance with the bases loaded. And that's a good play over at second base by May Savage. Carcano now bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs. As she takes ball 1. Count 1-0 on Carcano. And that's it out to the left. Initially breaking in hard on that play was the left fielder Wagle, but she settles underneath it to make the catch. And that will do it for the Dolphins in the home second. CSI strands the bases loaded. Lions come to bat in the third, leading 3-1.
The catcher, number 2, Sherilyn Ducharme.
Sherilyn Ducharme will lead off for Molloy here in the road third inning. The Lions lead the Dolphins 3-1 as Ducharme takes up and away for ball 1. Ducharme homered back in the first inning, 1 for 1 at the plate. That came against starting pitcher Alexis Miramontes. She has since been relieved by Marina Grenier as Ducharme looks at a strike, 1-1. 1-1. Inside 2-1. 2-1. Hit in the air, foul territory, and it falls. 2 Dolphins closing in, but neither had a good chance. Count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ducharme. Marina Grenier walked in a run in the second, but otherwise was able to limit the damage, inheriting a bases-loaded jam, as that's fouled away. Comes the 2-2. Fouled off again. Count stays 2-2 on Ducharme. And she fouls away another. Softballs come in from the Dolphins dugout. It stays 2-2. Two. Fouled off again. The battle continues between Ducharme and Grenier. Two. Way upstairs. Count now full as Ducharme looks to get on to begin the third inning. The 3-2. Hit in the air out to right, shallow. Stalker calls off Motley and makes the catch. One away. That will bring up Stevie Dabadi.
The pitcher, number 34, Stevie Dabadi.
Dabadi 0 for 1 at the plate, grounded out to third, her first time up. First pitch from Grenier is taken high for ball one. One 0 on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Comes the 1-1. Hit on the ground, off the glove of Grenier, throws from a knee, and she records the out. Nice job by Grenier to knock that ball down and stay with it. 2 away in the inning. I do apologize for the scoreboard. Have that up to date now.
The first baseman, number 24, Madeline Millman.
Madeline Millman will be the batter. And Millman takes a strike. What will happen when this game is on demand later, any issues with the graphics being a bit behind, all of that will be corrected in post, and we'll get a fresh copy of the game. Millman at the plate, 0 for 1, flew out to center. That was a robbery by Mariah Carcano on a diving catch. As Millman swings and misses, it's now 1-2. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. And there's a called strike 3 to Millman, who goes down looking. 1-2-3 inning for Marina Grenier. Dolphins come to bat. It's a 3-1 game. Amanda Stalker will lead off the home third inning. Dolphins trail 3-1. And Stalker hits one hard through the left side for a base hit. And the Dolphins have the leadoff batter on in the home third inning. Once again, Stalker absolutely smokes a ball. She's been right on just about everything for the better part of 2 weeks. That will bring up Eileen Valderas. And Valderas takes high for ball 1. Valderas 0 for 1, lined out to left her first time up. She hit the ball very hard in that at bat, but found a glove. As that's hit well to right, but once again she finds a glove. She just got under it. Page makes the catch for the first out.
The designated player, number 38, Olivia Wanzer.
That will bring up Olivia Wanzer. First pitch to Wanzer. At the knees for a strike. Wanzer flew out to right her first time up. That came after a lengthy battle where she ran the count full. Here's the 0-1. Chopped toward the on-deck circle, foul ball. Wanzer quickly behind 0-2. And the 0-2 misses down and away. Comes the 1-2. Line outside, 2-2. Two and two. Hit sharply, but foul. Dolphins have tied the score over at baseball. It's now 1-1. That stream also broadcasting live on the ECC network. Our colleague Nick Pavona over there at baseball. The 2-2. High and outside, ball 3. So after working a full count in her first at-bat, Wanzer has run it full in her second plate appearance as well. Getting back full from behind 0-2. The payoff pitch. Hit a mile high out to center, but Wanzer got under it a bit, and the catch is made near the warning track by Montgomery. Stalker back to first, 2 outs in the inning.
The third baseman, number 42, Olivia Warner.
That will bring up Olivia Warner. First pitch to Warner. Low for ball 1 as a sudden wind gust threatened our camera. I had to do a quick pivot and make sure it was still standing. Warner ahead 1-0. That's fouled away. Warner came very close to hitting a home run yesterday. Hit one off the fence. May have short hopped the wall, but it was awfully close to leaving out toward left center. And she takes ball 2 here, 2-1, but head coach Tracy Garofalo said something to Warner before her at bat. And on the very first swing, she drove the ball nearly out of the ballpark. Warner ahead 2-1 here, representing the tying run, and she takes ball 3. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike on the Dolphins' third baseman. And that's on the outside corner, 3-2. Full count on Warner. Stalker will be moving on the pitch. And the 3-2 is fouled away. Meanwhile, over baseball, the Dolphins have gone in front 5-1. Pair of bases loaded hits by Michael Flashner and TJ Leno have made it a 4-run game. The Dolphins lead 5-1. Here comes the 3-2 to Warner, and she fouls that one away. The count remains full on Warner, 3-2. And that's hit well to left, and backpedaling to make the catch is the left fielder Wagle. Another hard hit ball by Warner, but she's a casualty to end the third inning. Dolphins still trail by a pair. We head to the fourth. Lions in front, 3-1. Emily McGurk will lead things off for Molloy here in the fourth as she takes a called strike one. Her team leading 3-1. Pitch from Grenier up and away, 1-1. Dolphins continuing to rally over at baseball, as I mentioned before the break. 5 runs home in the third inning for CSI. They lead Stack 5-1. As the 1-1 is taken by McGurk for a called strike 2. Here at softball, the Lions have 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors. The Dolphins, 1 run on 2 base hits, no errors. And that one sails to the backstop, 2-2. Should the Dolphins come away with a playoff spot, they would head to the number 1 seed's home site, as that's blooped foul, played on one hop by Acosta, but in foul ground. Dolphins, if they do qualify for the ECC postseason, they would head to the site of the number 1 seed and would play on Thursday, as that's swung on and missed for strike 3. They would play on Thursday as part of a double elimination bracket. 4 teams invited, top 4 seeds in the conference, as McGurk struck out.
The left fielder, number 9, Megan Wagle.
Top 4 in the conference invited, double elimination, culminating with the ECC Championship on Saturday, May 3rd. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the scheduled dates of the conference championship. 0-1 pitch to Megan Wagle in for a called strike 2. As for CSI baseball, should they make the playoffs, they would head to Buffalo. And that would mean that I will head to Buffalo as well. Should be at the softball championship as well. Hope the Dolphins are there. As that is swung on and missed for strike 3 by Wagle. Back-to-back strikeouts from Marina Grenier. 2 gone.
The right fielder, number 33, Amaya Page.
Amaya Page, the batter. Page was hit by a pitch her first time up, and she goes ahead 1-0 here. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the current number 1 seed in the ECC, St. Thomas Aquinas College. Admittedly, if not the Dolphins, I might have to pull for the Spartans on this one because they are the closest of the potential sites. Right now, it would be, in all likelihood, as Page swings and misses for strike 2, it would be either Molloy or Stack hosting, and Molloy is a much, much further trip for me. So, have to admit, if not the Dolphins, which at this point might be mathematically impossible, might have to pull for the Spartans, as that's taken inside for ball 2. But regardless of the site, I will be there. And baseball, we know, if they qualify, would be heading to Buffalo. 2-2. Hit on the ground to second. Motley has it, and she flips to first to retire Page for the final out of the inning. The Lions go down 1-2-3 as Marina Grenier puts forth another good inning of relief. Dolphins come to bat, still trailing by 2 when we come back. Natalia Knoth will lead things off for the Dolphins here in the 4th. Dolphins still trailing by a pair. Molloy scored 3 across the first 2 innings. The Dolphins got one back in the second. No runs since. Knoth singled her first time up, 1 for 1. She takes down and in. Count even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Comes the 1-1. And Knoth pops one up on the infield. It's caught by a diving Savage. 1 away. That will bring up Bridget Motley.
The second baseman, number 19, Bridget Motley.
Motley worked her way back from a 1-2 count in her first at-bat and would ultimately draw a walk. And Motley hits one well out to right center field. That's down for an extra base hit. Motley headed for second, and she is in standing with a 1-out double. Big swing there by Bridget Motley, and the Dolphins have a runner in scoring position with 1 away. Here's a look at that big swing one more time. And that will bring up Alyssa Acosta. Acosta, without an official at-bat, was hit by a pitch in her first plate appearance. And she swings and misses there for strike 1. Meanwhile, over at baseball, the Dolphin lead has grown to 7 runs. They lead Stack 8-1. It is still the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Acosta takes a ball 1-1. Dolphins moving closer and closer to their first ever Division II playoff berth. Comes the 1-1. And that's hit on the ground to second. Throw goes to third. Motley is out. Or perhaps not, she is. Two away now, here in the fourth inning. Risky play to go to third there on a ground ball to the right side. That's the first time today I didn't get to the cough button. The allergens in the air are finally catching up to me. Anissa Acosta at the plate now, 2 away in the inning, ahead 1-0. That's fouled back. Dolphins now out hitting the Lions 3-2. Comes the 1-1. That's popped up, foul ground. And it lands. 1-2 now in Acosta. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Up and away, 2-2. Acosta has been on base twice in this game. Walked and reached on a fielder's choice. That fielder's choice did result in a force out at the plate. Here comes the 2-2, and Acosta goes down swinging. The body strikes out Acosta to end the home fourth. We head to the fifth. The Dolphins still trail 3-1. May Savage will lead off for Molloy here in the top half of the fifth inning. They lead the Dolphins 3-1. Marina Grenier has pitched very well in relief for CSI. She's back to the circle for the fifth inning. And her first pitch of the inning is in for a called strike one. Savage has gone 0 for 1 at the plate, did reach base in the second on a walk, flew out to first to begin the game. And she's now behind 0-2. Count now 0-2 on the Lions' second baseman. That's taken outside, 1-2. Comes the 1-2. That's fouled off. One ball and 2 strikes, the count on Savage. And she takes up and away, 2-2. Grenier has retired 7 straight going back to the second inning. Looking to keep that streak going here. And she will. Savage goes down swinging for the first out here in the 5th. That will bring Alexis Montgomery to the plate.
The center fielder, number 32, Alexis Montgomery.
Montgomery has drawn 2 walks. Dolphins bench urging the infield to watch for a bunt as Montgomery takes low for ball 1. Montgomery was the first batter that Grenier faced back in the 2nd. She drew a walk. She's the only Lion to reach against the Dolphins reliever, as that's fouled into the CSI dugout. Count now 1-1. The Dolphin rally has finally come to an end over at baseball. They lead 8-1 after 3 innings. 1 out now in the top of the 4th. Each team with 3 errors. The Dolphins with 8 runs on 7 hits. Spartans with 1 run on 3 base hits. Comes the 1-2. That misses high, 2-2. Two-two. Hit foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And while Grenier has set down 8 straight, the Lions haven't made it easy. During that time, she has struck out 5. Showing off that swing and miss stuff. The 2-2. Fouled off again. Battle rages on between Montgomery and Grenier. Here comes another 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Count now 3-2. And that's high for ball 4. So Grenier loses Montgomery to a walk, and that ends the streak of 8 straight retired for the CSI reliever. Natalie Musa will come to the plate now. Lions with their first base runner since back in the 2nd inning.
The designated player, number 8, Natalie Musa.
Musa 1 for 2, doubled in a run, was forced out at 3rd, and then struck out in her next at-bat as the runner is going. Throw by Kanoth in time as Montgomery is tagged on the helmet. Montgomery looked like she might have been a bit shaken up there, as that's the 2nd time that a Molloy base stealer has been tagged directly on the helmet. We saw McGurk take a tag to the helmet earlier. We thought they may have called obstruction on the Dolphins on the play. We weren't sure, but the runner was called safe, as that's lined to Motley and off her glove. That's a tough chance, and it's a base hit for Musa. Third hit of the game for the Lions.
Sherilyn Ducharme.
And Sherilyn Ducharme will come to the plate here. 2 outs in the inning. The runner on first is Musa. And Ducharme takes outside for ball 1. Ducharme 1 for 2. Homered her first time. Flew out to right her 2nd at-bat. Here comes the 1-0. Low for ball 2. Ducharme in the driver's seat here, ahead 2-0. And she hits one hard out to right. Stalker has to play it on a hop. And the runner, Musa, will hold at 2nd. Good job there by Stalker to cut that ball off and get it in quickly. Musa did not take a chance. And the Lions now have 2 on with 2 outs. That hit from Molloy, their 4th. Stevie DeBody will get a chance to help her own cause here. She comes to the plate with 2 on and 2 outs. The Lions already leading by 2 runs. And the way that DeBody is pitched, if you're the Dolphins, you'd really prefer not to give up a run here. Of course, you prefer not to give up a run in any situation, but especially the way that DeBody is pitched so far.
Pitcher number 34, Stevie DeBody.
First pitch to DeBody on its way. In for a strike, 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. 0-2. Big swing and miss there by DeBody. Here comes the 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Comes the 1-2. Hit in the air, but foul. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeBody 0 for 2, grounded out to third, and then bounced one back to Grenier. Looking to erase the 0 for here. And that's it out to center. Carcano right there, and she makes the catch. Lions strand a pair in the 5th. Dolphins come to bat, trailing 3-1 when we return. Mariah Carcano will lead things off for the Dolphins here in the home 5th inning. She lays down a bunt. Throw to first, not in time. Carcano bunts back to the pitcher, and DeBody didn't have a chance. And to the credit of the Molloy starting pitcher, she made that a close play at first base, but Carcano was able to beat it out for the 4th Dolphins hit. Amanda Stalker at the plate now, representing the tying run, and that is just foul. Stalker just missing an extra base hit there on that swing. That ball landed less than a foot outside the line, and she's behind 0-1. Stalker has been locked in at the plate the last 2 weeks. Here comes the 0-1. And she takes outside, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. That's in the dirt. 2-1. 2-1. Hit hard up the middle, base hit. Carcano goes first to third. Stalker heading for second. And the Lions, with an ill-advised throw to third base, allow the tying run to advance into scoring position. Not a wise play there by Molloy. They did not have a chance to get Carcano. And you'll see that again here on the replay. Eileen Balderas to the plate now. Big opportunity here for the Dolphins, trailing by a pair. The tying run's now in scoring position. And they have a chance to get even or maybe even take the lead with one big swing. Balderas is 0 for 2, hit a scorcher to left her first time and flew out to right in the third. Still nobody out for CSI here in the fifth. The corners are in for Molloy. First pitch on its way, and that's in for a called strike one. The 0-1. And that's in the dirt, 1-1. We mentioned it earlier, Balderas with 22 runs batted in. Chance for 2 more with a base hit. And that's chopped foul, dead ball. 1-2 now. Olivia Wanzer stands in the on-deck circle. Dolphins trail by 2 here in the fifth. The 1-2. And Balderas just held the swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes now, the count on the Dolphins shortstop. Here comes the 2-2. And that's grounded foul. Yet another Dolphin battling at the plate. Balderas very quickly had a 2-strike count. Has worked it back even, 2-2. Fouled off a couple. Held her swing on a tough pitch. Another 2-2 upcoming. And Balderas takes up and away, ball 3. Full count on Balderas, 3-2. First base is open, nobody out here in the home fifth. And Balderas lines one to right center field for a base hit. That will bring home the tying run. It's a 2 RBI single for Eileen Balderas. And the Dolphins have gotten even. We are all tied at 3. Huge hit for Balderas. And here is one more look at it. Balderas hitting that ball right back where it was pitched to the opposite field. Both runs come in to score easily, and the Dolphins have pulled even. 3-3 here in the fifth. That very well may be the biggest hit of the Dolphins season to this point. Molloy talking it over in the circle. The Dolphins gathered along the third base line. And once again, this Dolphins team coming up big in the clutch. Undoubtedly the most important 14 days for them as a Division II program these final 2 weeks of the season. And thus far, they have been up to the task. This team needed wins to get into the playoffs. They needed a sweep yesterday. They got it. And now, a chance to win a game in which they did not start their ace. Kennedy Rook is available to pitch game 2. Alexandra Frenza available to pitch game 2. And Olivia Wanzer takes down and in for ball 1. If the Dolphins do go on to come back and win this game, obviously they've already tied it, But Marina Grenier will deserve a ton of credit for that. Here comes the 1-0, and Wanzer takes ball 2. But Grenier has been phenomenal in relief. You'd expect to see her come back out for the 6th if the Dolphins do not score again. If they take the lead, maybe you go to Ruth to lock it down. As Wanzer takes ball 3 low, it's now 3-0. Wanzer likely to take a pitch here. See if she has the green light. 3-0, and she takes a strike. I think that's the right decision there in a tie ball game with nobody out. But now I think you let her swing away on 3-1. Three and one pitch. Outside, ball 4. And now Olivia Warner will come to the plate. Pinch runner, Deanna Du Bois, takes over for Wanzer.
The third baseman, number 42, Olivia
Warner at the plate in this game. 0 for 1 with a walk. Lined out on a screamer to left her last time, and she chops one to short. Tough play, and the play is not made by Kissinger. She knocked it down with the glove, but did not have a play. And that may go down as a hit. We'll have to get a look at it on replay. We'll get one more look at it following this next pitch as Natalia Knoth comes to the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out. Here's another look. I think that's going down as a hit. Bases loaded, nobody out. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Knoth. Infield at normal depth in the middle, as that's taken outside. 2-1 now on Knoth. Nowhere to put her for Dabati. Here comes the 2-1. On the outside corner, 2-2. Knoth has to protect here. Count even at 2. This is a big pitch here. You don't want to run it full if you're Dabati. And Knoth looks at a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Big strikeout for Dabati and the Lions. And Bridget Motley will come to the plate here. Motley fouls it back.
The second baseman, number 19, Bridget Motley.
Motley behind 0-1 after a first pitch foul ball. And that sails way upstairs, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2. Dabati 1 strike away from another huge punch out. Dolphins just hoping Motley can put the ball in play and get Balderas home. And Motley held up. Molloy dugout. Susan Cassidy-like having a conversation with the home plate umpire who asked for help on the play. Molloy wanted the call for a swing. Here's a very quick look at it. Not a great look for me on the monitor, but our audience at home perhaps getting a better view as the 2-2 is fouled off. This is a huge at-bat in this game for both teams. 2-2 on Motley, bases loaded, 1 out. And that's line foul. That ball absolutely smoked off the bat of Motley, but couldn't keep it fair. It stays 2-2. Dolphins dugout trying to will Motley into reaching base here. The 2-2 pitch. And that's fouled off. The battle continues between Dabadi and Motley. A playoff spot potentially hangs in the balance for the Dolphins. The Lions still in pursuit of the top seed in the ECC. Here comes the 2-2. Grounded to short. They go to third with it, and they get the out there. But the go-ahead run comes in to score as Motley does her job, puts the ball in play, and the Dolphins now lead it 4-3. And that will bring up Alyssa Acosta. Acosta 0 for 1 at the plate, was hit by a pitch, and then grounded into a fielder's choice. She's now 0 for 2, and that will do it for the Dolphins in the 5th. However, the Dolphins take their first lead of the game. They go in front, 4-3, as we head to the 6th. Mariah Cepeda will pinch hit for Molloy to lead off the 6th inning. Dolphins hoping for 6 big outs. And right now it is Marina Grenier in the circle. She has been phenomenal in relief. And as I mentioned, if the Dolphins are able to come back and win this game, they've now come back and are ahead. Grenier will be a big part of it, but she could not make that play, and it's an E1. Tough break there for Grenier and the Dolphins as they got a dribbler right back to the circle. Here's one more look on replay. Very routine play there for Grenier, just couldn't corral it. And it looks like the Lions may be sending a pinch runner into the game here. It will be Emily McGurk at the plate.
Third baseman, number 29, Emily McGurk.
So the DP, Casey Kitchinger, is going to pinch run. McGurk fouls that one away, so expect Kissinger to be flexed back into the flex position. She'll continue on at shortstop, and we'll see defensively who takes over at first base. McGurk behind 0-1 after a first pitch foul ball. And she fouls away another 0-2. Meanwhile, over at baseball, the Spartans put together a huge fifth inning. It's now 8-6 Dolphins. When this game ends, be sure to check that game out. They'll have some time left over there as that's popped up. Shallow left, Acosta snow-coned it. That was awfully close, but Alyssa made the catch, and that's all that matters. One away in the inning. And another pinch hitter into the game. Gwen Woodsit will come in and pinch hit for Megan Wagle.
Pinch hitting for the Lions, number 22, Gwen Woodsit.
Woodsit gets her first at bat of the day with one away here in the sixth. Kissinger the runner at first as Woodsit takes a strike. Marina Grenier, minus the error, continues rolling. Worked around a couple of base hits in the fifth. Has one out here in the sixth. And that's taken low. Kanoth was hoping the runner tried it there, was ready to throw. It's now 1-1 on the Molloy pinch hitter. The 1-1. Lined into the glove of Warner. Throw to first. Double play. 5-5-3 on the line drive double play. And the Lions are turned aside in the sixth. Dolphins come to bat looking for some insurance. They lead it 4-3. Anissa Acosta leads off the home sixth with a fly ball to right field. And TJ is quickly retired on one pitch for the first out. That will bring up Mariah Carcano. Pitch on its way, and Carcano takes just off the outside corner. Carcano 1 for 3, hit into a fielder's choice. Flew out to left and singled in the fifth. 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. Fought off, foul, and it falls. Two and one now on Carcano. Dolphins looking for some insurance here in the sixth inning. They lead by 1. And this very well could be a win that propels the Dolphins firmly into the playoff conversation. They were already there as that's chopped back toward the circle. Good play there by Dabati. And she flips to first to retire Karkana. That will bring up Amanda Stalker.
Number 30, Amanda Stalker.
If you're the Lions, you're happy to face Stalker with the bases empty here. And she takes in the dirt ball 1. Stalker 2 for 3 in this game. Popped out on the infield the first time. Has singled in her last 2 at-bats. Here comes the 1-0. And Stalker looks at a strike. One ball and 1 strike, the count on the Dolphins' right fielder. Stalker takes high, 2-1. If Stalker can keep the inning going, Eileen Balderas would be next. The 2-1. Ball 3. The body pitching Stalker very carefully here. Balderas did come through with a big base hit against her in her last at-bat. Here comes the 3-1. That's fouled straight back. Count full on Stalker, 3-2. Dolphins hoping to keep this home 6th inning alive. They lead 4-3, 2 outs. The 3-2. Hit well and caught. Kissinger on the backhand makes the grab, and that will do it for the Dolphins in the 6th inning. We head to the 7th. The Dolphins 3 outs away from a huge conference win. Amaya Page will lead things off for Molloy in the 7th inning. They trail by a run. 9-1-2 due up for the Lions. At the plate in this game, Page 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch and grounded out to second. Marina Grenier back to the circle for the Dolphins, looking to cap off what would be, in my estimation, a career effort for her here today. Grenier had some very good games down in Florida, getting a couple of starts, but I don't think any outing has been bigger for her in her Dolphin career. As the 1-1 is chopped foul, it's now 1-2. Behind Page for Molloy in this half inning, Savage and Montgomery. 1-2. Line. Caught by Acosta. That ball was hit pretty hard, but TJ was right there waiting, makes the grab, and there's one away.
The second baseman, number 10, May Savage.
That will bring up May Savage. Savage 0 for 2, has walked, struck out, and flew out to center in 3 at-bats. First pitch to Savage, missed for ball 1. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. Hitters who have done some damage in this game looming. Musa and Ducharme have had a couple of big hits already. Montgomery is the on-deck batter. You'd love to get the Lions down 1-2-3 if you're Grenier. And she misses high for ball 3. Have to think Savage will take a pitch here, maybe 2. It's 3-0. And she takes up and away ball 4. So Montgomery has not been retired in this game, does not have a hit, but has drawn 3 walks. Behind her, Musa and Ducharme are a combined 4 for 6 with 2 singles, a double, and a home run. And the first pitch to Montgomery misses badly, well low. 1-0. Montgomery may wait to take a strike in this at-bat. Grenier has missed with 5 straight. And there's 6. Two 2-0 on Montgomery. Pitch on its way from Grenier. Dribble down the line, dead ball. Hit the batter in the box, or perhaps bounced off the plate and hit the batter. It's 2-1. The 2-1. Blooped, caught. Throw to first. Off Acosta and off the runner. But they get the out, and there are 2 away in the inning. Very nearly another double play that would have been 5-5-3 on a ball that was foul. That was caught in foul ground by Warner. She threw behind the runner. Acosta did a good job to block it, but got some help from Savage. The ball hit her right in the midsection.
The designated player, number 8, Natalie Musa.
And now the Lions are down to their final out. Natalie Musa at the plate. As we mentioned before, she's 2 for 3. And Musa takes ball 1. Count 1-0 on Musa. Savage staying put at first, and Musa takes a strike. 1-1. Musa has had 2 at-bats against Grenier, 1 for 2 with a single. Here comes Grenier's 1-1. And that's on the corner, strike 2 called. The Dolphins 1 strike away from a monumental conference win. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Musa. Grenier looking to seal a win in relief. The 1-2. Foul. Off the top of the Molloy dugout, it stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Savage has been anchored to first base. Did not look to move into scoring position yet. 1-2. And that's grounded toward the middle. Balderas steps on second, and the Dolphins win it. CSI takes game 1 from Molloy on Senior Day, as Marina Grenier comes out of the Dolphins bullpen and does not allow anything. Grenier closes the game out with 5 1/3 innings of scoreless relief as the Dolphins defeat the Lions 4-3. A huge win for the Dolphins in terms of ECC playoff positioning. And for CSI, you can make the case that thus far, today's win has been the biggest of the D2 era. Final line for both sides. Molloy, 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Dolphins, 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher, Marina Grenier. The losing pitcher, Stevie DeBody. And for the Dolphins, a huge win in Game 1 of today's conference doubleheader. They look to make it a sweep when we come back for Game 2 in approximately 30 minutes. This has been Joe Foreman on the call solo for CSI Sportsnet. I rejoin you for Game 2 at approximately 2:20 p.m. Once again, our final score, the Dolphins 4 and the Lions 3.